story. It's the last story here today, but it's a kind of, I think you have done some revolutionary work and pioneers like Milan, everybody here we have been listening today. So now the screen is your, feel free.
Yeah, thank you, Mirko. I'm really sorry I couldn't make it to Helsinki today, but here we go. It's like a broadcast from Pöytyä. And I'm really happy to be part of this World Hope Forum. I will start sharing my screen. Okay, here we go. So I'm at the moment at our headquarters here in Pöytyä. Pöytyä is a small county in southwest Finland in the river valley of Aura River. And for us, it's kind of our own universe. It's my home county, but it's also our like a creation, the world that where everything that our brand does takes place. It all happens at the universe of Pöytyä. And my company, Myssyfarmi, it's a farm-based design company from here. And Pöytyä might not be the fashion capital of the world. It might be one of the most unlikely places on earth to do international fashion. But we really believe we got it all here. We got it all that it takes to make a difference. And the company, originally, it was established in 2017, but the first Myssy beanie was handmade by my husband, Janne, the founder of the brand, already back in 2006, when he was living on the mountains of Davos. And that's where the whole story began. We met in 2008 and moved to the family farm and invented the concept of Myssy farm. And for quite a many years, it was first Janne's hobby, and then it became my hobby. And then we needed to decide like if we actually try to make this Myssy beanie business of ours like a real business, or if we should just like knit for ourselves. And we decided to give it a try. We really believe there is like something in the concept that like we really have a point why we should like continue doing what we do. And it has been like quite an adventure. The mission of Myssy is to bring warmness to the world of fashion and business, to create well-being. And soon I'm going to tell you how we do it, like how we produce like probably the most responsible hats on earth. Here are 3 of our Myssy grannies. All the Myssy accessories are hand knitted by the local retired ladies known as Myssy grannies. And the grannies are really the essence of our brand. We believe they knit part of their like wisdom and experience into each and every hat they make, and they sign the hats. They leave their mark there. And for them, like knitting with us, it's not only about money. They can really like make some extra income to top up their pension, but it's not about money. It's more about like having something meaningful to do in their days and having a community to belong to. Most of them, they would be knitting anyway, and then they would need to spend their own money on the yarns, and then they would need to find a place where to donate all the socks they make. And we give them the chance to knit with their friends. And there is always somebody who's like really eagerly waiting for their designs, like And then they get greetings from all around the world. The customers will see that this gray fluffy hat, it was hand knitted by Myssy granny Sally, and they can check the story of Sally online from the myssy.fi. And then we get messages that, hey, like I really love the hat Päivi or Sally or Ritva made for me. Like, please send my greetings to Ritva that it's the best hat I have ever had. And it makes them feel important. At the moment, we employ 80 grandmothers on the Southwest region here. And the number has been growing quite a bit. It's actually like double, it has doubled in a year. And it will keep growing. We kind of believe that if you want to make a difference, like you should try to go big. And the bigger we grow, the more grannies we can employ. We still have a waiting list where the grandmothers are like have signed up that they want to knit for us, and when we need new grannies, then we like go to the waiting list and we hire the next ones. All the accessories that we produce are made of organic FINNSHEEP wool. FINNSHEEP is in origin a Finnish landrace. It's really fertile and it can produce 3 to 5 lambs at once. So there has been a lot of crossbreeding going on, and it has not been valued as a sheep race that much, but it is in origin like really close to the wild sheep. And it has like a really spectacular wool. It's almost as soft as merino wool and almost as lustrous as silk. The microns are at best on the same level than the merino wool. And also the FINNSHEEP and the merino sheep are the only 2 sheep races in the world that have the scales of the wool, they're pointing inside. So the yarn is not spiky, but it's like exceptionally soft. We also have a big environmental issue here, as still more than 70% of the Finnish wool is being burned as a waste. And now we are wondering why we are burning like really nice, valuable raw material and then investing like hundreds of millions in developing like new bio-based fibers. And it really doesn't make any sense, but that's pretty much the same situation all over Europe. When the processing industry has left for Asia, like in most European countries, wool is kind of treated as a waste. There is no refining industry left, and it's not included in the EU farming program, so it's not supported with the farming benefits or anything. So it's like a European-wide phenomenon where quality wool is just treated as a waste, and this is something we really want to change, and what we have been changing. 3 years ago, we announced a market price for the wool that was maybe 5 times as much as the average price that we would pay for organic wool. And now the whole Finnish wool industry has followed the example that we gave. So everybody is now offering 5 to 6 euros per kilo for Finnish raw wool. And that's like, that's really exceptional. But we believe it's really the right direction to go. We have kind of like reached a position where we are the opinion leader in the Finnish wool industry. We are using at the moment 2 Finnish spinning mills that wash the wool here and they spin the yarn. And then we hand dye all the yarn here at the farm. We haven't found an industrial process that would give such like a nice lively color for the yarns, so we do it by hand. And we started out as a company that's producing accessories, basically like ready-to-wear accessories. And for a really long time, we were like, people kept asking like if you could possibly like also sell the yarn, but it's not like an easy access yarn. You cannot go to the shop not even like a specialized shop and buy hand-dyed FINNSHEEP yarn that originates from organic farm. And we always told them like, sorry, we got nothing to sell. You can buy the ready-made hat. But then Corona came and we always struggled with selling wool hats for Mother's Day in May. So we thought it's the time to give it a try. Like, let's create knit kits and let's give all the Myssy friends, how we call our customers, let's give the Myssy friends a chance to knit their own hats. Like, let's see if it will work out and if they are willing to pay for it and all. And it was a really huge success. Like, we sold out all that we got. And then we decided that, okay, we need to bring it back as a permanent part of the collections. And the past year we have been developing the concept and finalizing it. And now anybody can knit their own hat. It's a great concept because we believe the Finnish grandmothers, they carry this cross-generational knowledge of how to master the most perfect knitwear in the world, and giving our customers tutorial like videos and all, like how to do it like the grannies do it, and anybody can learn the art of knitting. Knitting is really, it's meditative, it's relaxing, and when you finally finish the product you're knitting, it gives like a really nice feeling when you complete something yourself. Then a few words about the Pöytyä, our own fashion universe. Finland has a really short history in high culture, but we have somewhat like 700 years of cultural heritage, how certain farming traditions and aesthetic traditions were passed on, like from one generation to another on the farms here. So Finland in general is a really rural country. So I believe going back to the farms is really like going back to our cultural roots. All the photos we take, all the videos we make, they are all from Pöytyä. There are some really amazing places here. My personal favorite is all the old estates and mansions here, and the Aura River. It's rather small here, but it has like a special spirit in it. And also there are so many fashion brands in the world who come from Paris or Milan or New York, but there are not a whole lot of places or a whole lot of brands that come from Pöytyä. So it's also something that makes a difference. And it's kind of being true to your roots and supporting your local. It's our local gas station. We mostly use local models that have no experience in modeling. We sometimes keep getting feedback how we should like actually use real people and not models in the photos, but you know, you can't help it if the locals just can pull it out. Like, this is Eino Pappa, he's the best friend of my father-in-law. And here's my cousin Perttu. So it's really like making the best out of what you got here locally, and it's working out great for us. The founder of the brand is my husband, Janne Rauhansuu. At the moment, he's a full-time farmer and the chairman of board of the Finnish Organic Association. But it didn't always used to be like that. He was also the professional windsurfer, Finn24, who took the European Championship in 2001 and was rated among the world top 10 several times. So there is like a different approach. We have both been born and raised at Pöytyä, so we are native Pöytyä citizens. We were both growing in a family of entrepreneurs. So there is a strong background here, but we both spent enough years somewhere else so you can kind of have a new approach to the community you're living in. I have a degree in business and economics, and I had a career in advertising prior to my return to Pöytyä. We also have 4 kids born in 2010s, and the company has been kind of growing aside the family. But I have a strong connection to my roots. Both of my parents were growing up on a farm, and I kind of feel it's my calling to return here and do what I'm doing. We also have a really cool, quite international and passionate team that's running the business. This is not the whole team, and there are a few brothers and cousins in the photos, but everybody who's working for us has like a really special relationship to the brand. There is like Mari, who was born at the sheep farm. There's Päivi, who spent 8 years in New York at the craft industry, and then the corona came and she returned her home in Merimasku and joined the Myssy business here at Pöytyä. There is Hanna, the blonde girl who's running all the sales and PR here. She's also a founding partner of our company, and she's really the driving force that makes impossible happen. We have a partner strategy where we believe that everybody who we work with wants us to succeed. Like, no matter if it's the customers or the suppliers or whoever is connected with us, like everybody has kind of a love for Myssy, and they really like want us to succeed. This is the basic Pöytyä evening setup. And whereas the fashion industry, it's one of the largest industries in the world, and it's also the second largest polluter. Everybody now knows what kind of like environmental price is fast fashion causing. And our production, it's really different. It's traceable, it's transparent, it's flexible, and the bigger we get, the more well-being we are able to create. The more wool we can save from being wasted, and the more grannies we can employ. The momentum, it's for this kind of fashion companies, I really believe the momentum is now. I will quickly run you through with like a few things we have been able to do. At the moment, we are selling our accessories in more than 140 shops in 16 countries. Some of them are really like established and well-known department stores. And why we have been able to do this, of course, Hannas is like a super good in doing the sales, but also when you stand out there on the Paris Fashion Week and there are like thousands of participants, it's the one who will like stand out of the crowd and get the attention with the concept. It's a combination of the story and the aesthetics, and I really believe that we have been chosen not only for the designs but also for the values we carry with. We like to put the grannies out there in the front, and just 2 months ago, the Vogue Scandinavia was like interviewing our grannies with 80 grannies at the age of 70. Like, we can find a few that speak fluent English also. So we really like to give their face to the brand, put them at the front, and they enjoy it. Also, in the international picture, like, it's the little but promising happiness, how the Korean editor once said. is what's like appealing in the brand, like happy grannies knitting and happy people living a slow lifestyle at the farm. I'm not certain if I'm done with my 20 minutes, but I will quickly show you how the products are like. We got like some really basic single colored hats that are the best sellers. We got hoods and also summer hats of wool. Wool is like a great material. It also protects you from the heat. There is some color out there. And also, of course, all kinds of other accessories, scarves, tubes, mittens, and the knit kits. We believe that in future, the knit kits might be like a bigger business for us than the actual ready-made accessories, but time will show how many people will want to knit their own lato sweater or riihi cardigan. For me personally, the colors are like really important. I kind of live out of the colors and the combinations of the colors, and with doing all the dyeing ourselves, we can produce basically any color and we can do all the testing, and it's like we can do super fast changes, and I really enjoy working with the colors. So a few packaging, the actual knit kits that include everything. Some more Pöytyä people at the Pöytyä local museum. And I have this list. I will not go through the whole list, but Mirkku was asking me to tell the people like how did it like all come together, and it has been like a really long process. Sometimes somebody's asking me, oh, were you surprised by how successful you became and all, and I'm like, no, like all that we have kind of achieved, we have really like worked hard for. Like making a concept like this to grow, it's not an accident. So actually the first hat Janne knitted in the mountains of Davos in Toifi in 2006. And it was kind of something for the free ride skiers in Davos, like a real local concept. But it was already Myssy back then, and it was just him knitting. And as I told, we moved to the farm in 2009 and established the brand, but it was just a hobby for us. We were actually producing, we still are producing also organic food at the farm, like this organic turnip rape oil that was chosen as the organic product of the year in Finland in 2015. But then in 2015, the same year, we applied for an internationalization funding, and we were actually the first farm in Finland that were granted this now I cannot spell anything anymore, but this funding. And so we decided that we need to go abroad first. Like knitting is something so culturally typical in Finland that people will never understand what's special about the concept if we don't first go somewhere else. And so we entered the Berlin Fashion Week in January 2016, and that's when we started building it like right away. We found the first retailers, and now we have been on this road for a while. We have been winning some prizes on the way, creative prizes, but maybe the greatest like stories come from the grannies who flew to Nagoya and replaced the Santa Claus at the Christmas market of the Takashimaya department store, and all that we have done during the years. So step by step, we have found like our way of communicating our brand, like starting from this self-made like stuff, like little by little, like finding the right contacts, who to do photos with, who to do the designs with. It has been a long way and a lot of work. now we are really happy with the result, but we have ambition like for a lot more. Like we have ambition to become like a big like international phenomenon. It's not that we are like done now and all is ready, but I think we are like maybe on a verge of a bigger international breakthrough. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna. What a story. What kind of quite a story you had, quite a journey you have gone as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
It has been an adventure.
Yeah, good. So
that was another sort of journey, I would say, into a new way of creating and being and enterprising. This was such an amazing